A number of bills looking to address Louisiana's insurance crisis have been signed or are waiting on the governor's desk. Shannon Hecht breaks down a few of the changes coming to the insurance market.
Louisiana has officially entered hurricane season, and many homeowners are still grappling with how they are going to afford property insurance. A number of bills passed this year that the new insurance commissioner, Tim Temple, believes will help. One bill aims to make the claims process better. It also created a process to have the policyholder and company have a last mediation before the courts get involved.
It also created a cure period so that if you do feel that you're getting to that point where you're about to litigate, it brings both parties together for one last good faith effort to try and resolve the issue.
Another new law does away with the 3-year rule. Before, if someone has had 3 renewals with a company, they could not have their policy canceled. Now a company can cancel 5% a year or request more of their policies, but they can't all be focused in one area.
If reinsurers know that companies can't manage their book of business, it makes it more pricey to reinsure that book.
While some policyholders bristle at the idea of doing away with those protections, Temple claims it is one of the major issues that companies had when considering coming to Louisiana. The legislature agreed to keep the fortified roof program running that helps homeowners get grants to replace their roofs with the stronger models to help bring down their premiums.
That is the fastest way that a consumer can get relief on premium is put a fortified roof on.
There is always a risk of another big storm on the horizon, but Temple says that these new laws should help make sure more people have options for insurance.
If a hurricane comes into the Gulf and impacts one of those states, they still have regulations and laws that the insurance companies have to deal with and the consumers have to work with.
For your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
And those bills can't come soon enough for some, as the rising cost of insurance is putting many at risk of losing their homes. In New Orleans, Habitat for Humanity says more than 100 homeowners are at risk of foreclosure because of this. And those laws recently passed by the legislature, well, some wonder if they'll even work. But city council members in New Orleans say they are looking into funding a solution. One points to the city's housing trust fund.
It's a mechanism to hold money that would really go to support initiatives around affordable housing, the creation of affordable housing, making sure that blighted housing is repaired, rental rehabilitation, things like this.
There's a ballot measure coming up in November to use 2% of the city's budget to fund the trust. New standards are being set for educators in Louisiana. The Louisiana Board of Elementary and Secondary Education has approved a new accountability system for schools and districts across the state. Jasmine Dean brings us details of the changes.
It's going to be frustrating for some schools that have been A schools, and we're taking the same test, we have the same curriculum, we're doing the same processes, but in 2 years from now you're going to tell me we're a C school. That's a little demoralizing sometimes.
The new accountability system was approved by the Louisiana Board of Education and Secondary Education Tuesday in Baton Rouge. Vermilion Parish Superintendent Tommy Byler says the new system will change from the current 150-point scale to a 100-point scale. Byler says because of this, some schools will see a change in the way they are graded.
In the past formula, LEAP test counted for 25% of the formula. 75% of the formula was graduation rate. The big shift is now 75% of the high school score is on the 6th test.
On the board's website, bulletin points for the new system are based on a new 100-point grading scale, raising the bar for student outcome and emphasizing career education, college preparation, and military service readiness. Byler says with this new system, there's a shift in the formula where graduation rate and testing is used.
In some of our smaller districts, finding enough internships for our career and tech ed students is going to be a challenge.
In addition to adjusting the way schools are graded, Byler says other standards include tech and education students finding an internship to complete graduation requirements.
Yes, it did raise the bar, and school systems are going to raise the bar, but not everybody is going to understand that.
Byler says the new expectations did raise the bar, and this change will cause schools to make adjustments.
This is the new system. That's what the Bessie board felt was where we were going, and so as school systems, we just make adjustments.